Peter and his family stop in a small Australian town to refuel their RV while on a road trip. Peter insists that his stepdaughter Bella and son Samuel go stretch their legs. Bella wanders into a local fair and meets Dennis, an artist selling his sketches without a permit, who is quickly dismissed by a cop. Meanwhile, Vanessa, a local teenager, informs her boyfriend, Jackson, that she is pregnant. He enthusiastically shares the news with his rugby teammates. Suddenly, Vanessa's car speakers emit a strange, painful noise, forcing her to turn off the engine. That evening, the entire town comes together for a rugby match, but tensions between Jackson and another player, Matt, are high. Bella has vanished, leaving Peter's family to wait. Peter searches for her and finds her at the game, chastising her for abandoning the family. Midway through the game, the stadium lights go out, and distant explosions are accompanied by eerie, colorful lights in the sky, which are later revealed to be alien ships. Panic breaks out as the alien craft open fire, wreaking havoc throughout the town. Chaos ensues as Bella attempts to flee, but fails. Matt's brother-in-law, Marcus, rushes to help, but Bella is quickly discovered by her father. At that point, alien troops land and launch a ground attack, capturing and killing civilians. Matt's wife, Amelia, witnesses her mother's abduction, but is pulled to safety by Matt. Efforts to fight back are futile as the town's police and residents, armed with makeshift weapons, are powerless against the aliens' armor and firepower. As explosions light up the town, Peter and Bella return to their RV. They spot Marcus and his family and invite them to seek refuge. But Peter is concerned about Samuel and his wife Jenny. Matt advises him to flee as a nearby explosion shakes the RV. They spot Jackson and Vanessa, who rush aboard just as another teammate is killed. Peter races through the flames, debris, and chaos, barely escaping the town. A spaceship pursues them, but the Air Force arrives in time to shoot down what turns out to be a drone. In the countryside, they meet Dennis and Arnold, who take them to an abandoned timber mill in the forest for shelter. As they prepare for the night, the group intends to discuss their next steps in the morning. The following day, a massive alien craft hovers ominously overhead. During an argument, Peter reveals that he was recently released from prison, exacerbating an already tense situation. Some want to leave, but Matt persuades them to stay another day while he searches for family members. Matt, Dennis, and Amelia return to town, cautiously gathering supplies and keeping an eye on the aliens as they herd captured civilians behind a deadly laser gate. Amelia discovers that her mother has been relocated to a mysterious factory. The trio returns to the mill, informing everyone that the aliens appear to be capturing humans as livestock, implying a permanent occupation. Soon after, they see lights approaching and realize they are being followed. The group hides as an alien enters. Peter tries to shoot it, but its armor deflects the bullets. A violent struggle ensues. Matt tackles the alien. Vanessa grabs its gun and shoots it, saving Matt, while Arnold pulls another alien through the wall as it tries to choke Dennis. They defeat the alien together, despite the fact that their crowbars and makeshift weapons are ineffective against its advanced armor. Matt shoots and kills the alien after exposing its neck. They load the alien's body onto their truck, and Matt puts on its helmet, discovering it can detect life signals, effectively making humans invisible if they remain hidden among the plants. Those who are skilled with firearms teach the rest of the group how to use the captured alien weapons. They lie in wait in the forest, shooting aliens from a distance and steadily gathering more weapons. As their arsenal expands, they start attacking alien convoys to free human prisoners. Many freed captives join the fight, and a tight-knit community emerges in the forest based on cooperation and survival. Bella eventually develops feelings for Dennis, but the giant alien spaceship remains in town. One day, the aliens poison the community's water supply, forcing everyone to evacuate to higher ground. By the time the aliens find their old camp, it has been abandoned. Though the war is brutal and both sides suffer losses, the humans' plant camouflage strategy keeps them alive. To intimidate the aliens, they start displaying the heads of fallen enemies on spikes and hanging bodies from trees near their camp. 8 months later, Amelia and Matt flee across a field from pursuing alien ships. They come across a wounded woman named Chloe, who points a gun at them but calms down once they assure her they are allies. Chloe reveals that the aliens have been experimenting on half of the prisoners while forcing the other half to plant alien food. Before fleeing, she steals a mysterious glowing device and hands it to Amelia. Suddenly, an alien reaches through the vegetation and captures Chloe, forcing Amelia and Matt to flee. Another alien attacks, but Amelia strikes its unhelmeted face, releasing Matt. The couple reunites with a group preparing explosives and the alien outpost is quickly destroyed, marking yet another victory for humanity. Amelia notices the aliens helping each other evacuate, but is too preoccupied with survival to think about it further. Back at the camp, Jackson's team has captured an alien to gather information. Peter and Amelia chastise Bella and Marcus for their reckless actions, but the teenagers are fed up with being treated like children. After learning that the aliens are conducting human experiments, Peter becomes enraged and begins beating the captive alien until others intervene. Amelia shows the alien Chloe's device, which activates with a touch and displays a hologram, revealing that the aliens have been monitoring Earth for centuries. Matt abruptly turns it off, infuriating Amelia, who storms out. Meanwhile, Dennis demonstrates his radical new outlook to Bella by burning all of his cash, which is now worthless. Inspired, Bella throws her phone into the fire. Dennis gives her a portrait he drew of her, and they leave to find privacy together. Matt, shaken by the hologram, describes what he saw, and Peter decides it is time to kill the alien prisoner. Jackson tries to argue that they can still learn something from it, but Peter is adamant, unleashing his fury on the alien. As resources dwindle, Matt announces a mission to return to the alien factory and rescue more prisoners. Jackson agrees to leave, despite Vanessa's pleas to stay with her as her pregnancy nears its end. Meanwhile, Amelia, frustrated, leaves camp alone and comes across an alien farm where humans are enslaved to work. She sneaks in to grab some crops, but her escape is thwarted by a bright light. Back at camp, Peter discovers Dennis's sketches of Bella and threatens him for showing an interest in his daughter. Vanessa goes into labor, which ends their confrontation. Peter rushes her to a tent, while Dennis sprints to notify Jackson's team. Jackson immediately returns, but the noise alerts the aliens to their location, resulting in a brutal gunfight. The humans try to hide, but many, including Matt, are injured. Marcus refuses to give up and continues to fight for more time. A spaceship locates the camp using the dead aliens' tracking armor, and the aliens start burning it, killing many of the survivors. As the fire consumes their home, Peter, Bella, and a few others take Vanessa deep into the forest, where she screams in labor. A survivor tries to silence her, fearing that her cries will attract the aliens, but Peter intervenes and fights him in the mud until he is dead. Bella helps Vanessa through labor, and Vanessa names her newborn daughter Allison before succumbing to blood loss. Peter attempts CPR, but Vanessa has already died. At that point, the Australian army arrives and launches a full-fledged assault on the aliens, freeing Matt's team and rescuing the few survivors. Within minutes, the soldiers have secured the area, giving humanity a fighting chance to reclaim its world. Despite the enormous losses and a future fraught with danger, hope for survival remains as the community prepares to rebuild. Jackson arrives in the forest just in time to hold Vanessa's body and apologizes tearfully for not being there for her. Soon after, the army arrives to evacuate the survivors, and Major Davis explains that they have heard about a resistance group that is inspiring others to fight back. At the base, an unconscious Matt is taken to the infirmary, while the others bury and mourn their fallen comrades. Peter, determined to rescue Jenny and Samuel, wishes to return to the alien-controlled factory, but Amelia persuades him to wait until they are better prepared. Overhearing, Davis introduces them to Colonel Grant, who provides critical information. The aliens have a biological weapon in Sydney, most likely designed to wipe out humanity. However, they require a distraction before launching their offensive. Grant instructs Amelia's group to attack the factory, utilizing their knowledge of the area. Most agree to help, but Jackson decides to stay behind. After saying their goodbyes to Matt, Amelia and the others rejoin Davis and his soldiers. As they approach the town, they notice it is heavily patrolled. To remain hidden, they set up a smoke screen and take a detour through the fields before arriving at the factory and witnessing workers being held as slaves. Among them, Peter notices Samuel and Jenny. Meanwhile, back at the base, Grant receives some disturbing news. The Sydney mission is struggling, as the aliens have strengthened their strongholds, revealing that the plan was a trap. The weapon was never moved. It remains in the city, ready to wipe out resistance forces. Grant informs Jackson, who rushes to the infirmary and awakens Matt. Together, they travel to the factory to assist Amelia's team, entrusting Arnold with Jackson's daughter's safety. Soon after, alien forces discover the human attackers and engage in fierce battles both on the farm and near the factory. Amelia's team fights hard, and Amelia narrowly avoids explosions before regaining her strength. Matt and Jackson sneak into the factory, eliminating a guard at the control panel and escorting prisoners out. During the chaos, Jackson detonates explosives throughout the factory, while Matt fights off another alien guard. Using Chloe's device to access the alien computer, Matt discovers that the aliens abandoned their planet when it became uninhabitable, and their biological weapon is intended as a last resort. As Matt is retrieving the bioweapon, he is ambushed by an alien who demands that he hand it over. Matt threatens to destroy it, buying time until Jackson opens fire, allowing Matt to flee. Outside, humans struggle while alien forces deploy heavy artillery. The Air Force arrives just in time, bombing alien bases and reigniting human hope. During the fight, Davis seizes an opportunity to commandeer the aliens' cannon, inspiring the farm's enslaved humans to rise up and join the battle. Davis seizes his opportunity and turns the cannon on the aliens, shifting the battle's momentum. Inside, Matt radios Amelia, injured but determined to detonate the explosives and stop the aliens, even if it means his own death. They share a tearful farewell before Matt throws the bioweapon at Jackson, who is shot in the process. With Vanessa gone, Jackson decides to stay behind and detonate the explosives, giving Matt one last chance to escape. As Jackson heroically detonates the charges, the factory catches fire. Witnessing the explosion, the remaining alien forces surrender. Peter and Bella reunite with Jenny and Samuel, and Amelia, who is grieving Jackson's loss, sees hope in the newfound human victory. Back at the base, Grant declares victory in Sydney, signaling the start of humanity's reclamation of Earth. Amelia then sees Matt alive, holding the recovered bioweapon, and they have a heartfelt reunion. After sharing his discovery about the aliens' motivations, Amelia approaches an alien prisoner, cuts its bonds, and extends her hand in peace. The alien accepts, representing the possibility of a brighter future for both species. Matt, Amelia, and their team set off with the military, determined to continue fighting to reclaim the world.